Know where you're watching from? Drop it in the comments. And if you find this conversation helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe so more men can find answers that bring peace of mind. All right, let's get real. Let me start with a story that will sound familiar. A patient I'll call Darren came to see me. He'd been married for 35 years, deeply loved his wife, and was confident in almost every area of life. But one night, scrolling online, he read that the average size was over 6 in. Darren had never measured that much. Suddenly, doubts crept in. Have I been disappointing her all these years, and she just never told me? That single thought spiraled into stress and distance from his wife. Now, here's the truth. Darren had been misled by misinformation. The medical reality, based on thousands of careful measurements, is that the average erect length is just over 5 in. Not 6, not 7, not 8, about 5. When I told him that, I literally saw his shoulders drop, his chest expand, a weight lifted. But then he asked the question that brings us here today. Okay, doc, but what do women actually want? That's when I knew we needed to dive deeper. This is where my years in practice and the research line up perfectly. See, men tend to believe women want much larger sizes than they actually do. There's a huge gap between what men assume and what women actually report. One of the most fascinating studies ever done on this topic didn't just rely on surveys. Researchers created life-size 3D models that women could hold and examine. When asked to choose the ideal size for a long-term partner, the average woman picked about 6.3 inches in length. Yes, that's slightly above the medical average, but here's the crucial detail. 20% of women didn't report a size preference at all. That means 1 in 5 women basically said, "This doesn't matter enough for me to even have an opinion." Even more importantly, when women were asked about their actual satisfaction in relationships, a stunning 85% said they were satisfied with their partner's size. Meanwhile, only 55% of men said they were satisfied with their own bodies. That's a 30-point gap. In other words, most women are perfectly happy, while most men are silently stressing themselves sick. This disconnect is at the heart of so many unnecessary struggles. So if size is not the main factor, what actually matters? Let's break down 5 of the biggest mistakes men make when it comes to intimacy and the habits that can completely change the game. Mistake number 1, believing bigger always means better. Here's the biological reality. The vagina is designed to be adaptable, but it has natural limits. Being much larger than average can actually create pain and discomfort for women, especially during long-term intimacy. I've had female patients quietly admit that partners on the larger side made intimacy more difficult, not more enjoyable. And so, here's the emotional takeaway. Women aren't walking around wishing their partner was bigger. More often, they're wishing their partner was more attentive, more communicative, more connected. The practical habit: stop comparing yourself to online myths or adult film standards. Those are staged, exaggerated, and not real life. Instead, focus on building comfort and closeness. Mistake number 2, confusing performance with connection. A lot of men treat intimacy like a test to pass. Did I last long enough? Was I impressive enough? But intimacy isn't a solo performance. It's a collaboration. The happiest couples treat it like a dance. Both partners paying attention, adjusting, listening. Biologically, your stress hormones spike when you're anxious about performance. That anxiety constricts blood flow, making physical function harder. It's literally working against you. Emotionally, your partner feels that stress and distance. She notices when you're in your head instead of in the moment with her. The practical shift. Instead of asking, "Am I enough?" start asking, "How can we enjoy this together more?" Mistake number 3, ignoring the power of communication. This might sound simple, but it's the most overlooked habit. Couples who talk openly about what feels good, what could be different, or what they'd like more of consistently report higher satisfaction. Biologically, this reduces anxiety. When you know what your partner enjoys, you can stop guessing and start focusing. Emotionally, it creates trust. She feels valued and cared for when you ask. Practically, you can start tonight. You don't need special training to ask, "What feels good to you?" or "How can I help you feel more connected to me?" Mistake number 4, neglecting overall health. Here's the unspoken truth. Intimacy is a full body event, not just one organ. Cardiovascular health, testosterone levels, muscle tone, sleep quality, even hydration all play a role in stamina, arousal, and enjoyment. Biologically, poor circulation or unmanaged health issues like diabetes or high blood pressure can directly reduce performance. Emotionally, when you don't feel strong in your own body, it chips away at confidence. Practically, this means every time you eat better, move your body, or manage stress, you're not just protecting your heart, you're protecting your intimate life. Mistake number 5, withdrawing out of insecurity. This is one of the most damaging habits I see. Men who worry they're not enough often start pulling away. They avoid intimacy, thinking they're sparing their partner disappointment. But in reality, the partner feels distance, confusion, even rejection. Biologically, the lack of intimacy lowers oxytocin, the bonding hormone, making couples drift further apart. Emotionally, your partner doesn't understand why you're suddenly absent. She might assume she did something wrong. Practically, the cure is simple but powerful. Lean in instead of pulling away. Even if you feel insecure, choose connection. That vulnerability often deepens intimacy instead of weakening it. So, what can you do starting today? Here's my 4-part action plan for every man who wants to feel confident and build intimacy that lasts. Build confidence from within. Remember, confidence is more attractive than any number. When you approach intimacy with joy instead of fear, your partner feels it too. Make communication a habit. Don't assume. Ask, share, invite her perspective. It's not weakness, it's strength. Invest in your health. Small changes, walking daily, cutting sugar, managing stress, add up to big results for your energy, circulation, and drive. Prioritize connection over perfection. Stop chasing some imaginary standard. Focus on being present, affectionate, and attentive. That's what creates lifelong satisfaction. Let me be clear. You are enough. The doubts that keep men awake at night are built on myths, not medical reality. The research is solid. The medical definitions are clear. And in all my years of practice, I've never had a woman complain that her partner was too small within the normal range, but I have seen countless women ache because their partner pulled away, got lost in insecurity, and stopped being present. Your partner doesn't want a measurement, she wants you. So here's what I want you to take away today. Stop letting myths steal your peace. Stop letting numbers decide your worth. Start focusing on the things that actually matter. Your health, your confidence, your connection. I've seen men in their 50s, 60s, even 80s rediscover intimacy that was more fulfilling than anything in their younger years simply because they stopped chasing impossible standards and started embracing real connection. Age is not the end of vitality. In fact, it can be the beginning of deeper, more meaningful intimacy than ever before. You already have what it takes. If this conversation helped shift your perspective, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who might need it. Too many good men are suffering silently from insecurities that don't match reality. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up fully, openly, and with care for the person you love. And for that, you are more than enough.